Happy New Year and welcome to Dateline Polk with news about your county government. I'm your host and Assistant County Manager, Leanne Thomas. Today you'll learn about County Commissioners' actions from the January 7th meeting. The board approved modifying a contract with Parsons Brinkerhoff to increase their fees an additional $327,000 and extend the length of the contract to complete the design and permitting of phases 2 and 3 of the Ernie Caldwell Boulevard project in Davenport.
This morning we had a modification to a consultant services agreement for the design and permitting of Ernie Caldwell Boulevard, phase 2B and 3, which is from Pine Tree Trail to US 1792. The modification had to do with some design changes that have occurred during the design process, and ultimately for the citizens, hopefully this will provide better transportation and economic development in the northeast part of the county.
In order to improve access to dental services in Lake Wales, board members approved a contract with Central Florida Healthcare Incorporated. This contract, not to exceed $179,564, will provide dental services to eligible residents of Polk County whose income does not exceed 200% of the federal poverty level and who are not eligible for dental care through Medicaid, Medicare, or private insurance.
And it's important because right now there is such a shortage in dentistry and dentists in our community. On average, there's about 150 dentists in Polk County. And right now, Polk County lacks a state in the nation in the ratio of dentists per people. There's 4,000 people per dentist in Polk County. So this contract and this agreement with this agency will help to increase access to dental care and ultimately improve care overall.
The 2014 legislative session will begin in March. However, members of our delegation returned to Tallahassee this week to participate in their committee meetings. Commissioners approved by a 4-1 vote with Commissioner Hall dissenting to adopt the Florida Association of Counties guiding principles and the county's legislative priorities for 2014. The board previously met with the delegation in December to discuss in depth our priorities, which include legislation regarding water, transportation issues, funding for roads, and renovations to Joker Marchant Stadium for spring training baseball. As the new year begins, Polk Works takes on a new name. With new branding, Board Chairman Laurie Walsh talked about the transition to now be known as Career Source Polk and the accomplishments of the organization in 2013.
Today I was honored to present to the Board of County Commissioners in regards to the Polk Works second quarter's report, and it was about the performance of the Polk workforce and the jobs that were placed within this second quarter.
Commissioners proclaimed Sunday, January 19th as Nowcrest Day in Polk County. Don Southern and Matthew Rose accepted the proclamation for Nowcrest. Nowcrest celebrates its 50-year anniversary this year and has been a community that is home to many retired public service workers.
Nowcrest is a retirement community made up of your nation's letter carriers from around the country. It's a community owned and operated by the National Association of Letter Carriers, AFL-CIO, and there are 800 to 1,000 residents in Polk County at any time at Nowcrest. And the residents out there are celebrating on the 19th the 50th anniversary of the foundation of Nowcrest by former NALC President William Doherty, who had the idea to start a retirement community for letter carriers. Their retirements at that time in the 60s were very low, and this was a low-income housing thing that was started. It's now owned, the mortgage is paid off, and it's operated by the Nowcrest Foundation.
Dave Carter, chairman of the Stormwater Technical Advisory Committee, provided an update of the committee's work to the board.
We evaluated the county's stormwater program that they've been doing for probably a decade or more now. And one of the things we're seeing is that the treatment of stormwater into our lakes is an evolving science. You look at statewide some of the treatment techniques that are used, and also here in Polk County, traditionally we've thought that if we put a stormwater pond or a swale ahead of an outfall going into a lake, that guarantees that we will clean up the lake, guarantees nutrient reduction and water quality improvement. And what we're finding is that each of our lakes is very unique in its biology and makeup, and a standard one-size-fits-all treatment approach is not appropriate given the very nature of our lakes. And so we've asked the county to look at individual lakes and what would best improve water quality on each lake and tailor the program specifically to each lake, and also to prioritize the lakes. Some lakes we may be able to make large improvements on with very little expenditure and effort. Other lakes may be much more difficult, and so we want to have a very specific priority list of which lakes we're spending our money on and what facilities we're putting in at each outfall.
Commissioners recognize Michael Bingham, an employee in the Indigent Healthcare Plan Division, for his service to the county through the Employees Thanksgiving Food Drive.
This year our food drive was particularly successful. We were able to help almost 100 families representing close to 400 people. We provided them with 3 or 4 days of food, plus a real nice Thanksgiving dinner, and a gift certificate for a turkey that they could have. So it was very rewarding. A team effort. Everybody from the county pitched in and helped out. The community came together, and we feel very gratified that it was a success this year.
During the public hearings, the board adopted an ordinance granting an economic development ad valorem tax exemption to expand Innovated Industrial Services in Bartow. Innovated Industrial Services will create 10 additional jobs and invest approximately $600,000 in expanding their business. This is the 7th company to be granted an ad valorem tax exemption in Polk County since May 2013. Board members approved the second reading of a staff-initiated ordinance regarding future capacity and needs to the Land Development Code. They also approved a reading to consider adoption of an ordinance to change approximately 40 acres in Davenport from residential medium to residential low in the Ronald Reagan Parkway Selected Area Plan, and an ordinance to change the Land Development Code sub-district area map for approximately 40 acres.
Thanks, Leanne. I'm kicking off today's update with one of the most intriguing and eye-pleasing projects of late. Construction is moving along quickly on the first of its kind pedestrian trail bridge over Avenue T Northwest in Winter Haven. The bridge will eliminate safety hazards pedestrians encountered when heading toward the Lake Alfred Trail Connector, and with its distinct architecture and lush landscaping, the bridge will be an extension of the beauty of the Chain o' Lakes trailhead near downtown Winter Haven. The bridge includes ramps and stairs to accommodate all users and pedestrians, and they will all be able to take in a gorgeous panorama whether they're heading north or south. The project has been a collaborative effort of the FDOT, Polk TPO, and the City of Winter Haven. To keep this update brief, I'll say this much. The TPO will be releasing its first video in a new series titled Planned Impact later this week, and you will get the rest of the story about this new bridge, including a 360-degree look at the progress that is being made and when it is expected to open to the public. So go find the Polk TPO on Facebook or Twitter and stay tuned. A new project in the hopper is underway on US 98 from North Socrum Loop Road to US 92. There are no lane closures scheduled, but people should remain cautious of workers and delays as crews repair sidewalk, install wheelchair ramps, construct new curbs, and more. A long-term, much-needed road widening and improvement project is ongoing in Haines City on State Road 17 from State Road 544 to Hinson Avenue. Northbound State Road 17 is closed to all traffic between State Road 544 and Wood Avenue. Signs are directing northbound traffic east on County Road 544, then north on 30th Street, and west on Hinton Avenue to State Road 17. A southbound lane will be kept open for the duration of the project, with access to driveways and side streets maintained for southbound traffic only. The detour will be active for approximately 1 year. Other spots on the local roadways that will require either patience or detour right now include, during the daytime hours, US 98 at Farm Road, the I-4 eastbound exit ramp at County Line Road and South Frontage Road, US 98 North just south of West Daughtry Road, US 27 from Ritchie Road to south of Berry Road, where a traffic shift remains in place at the intersection of US 26 Waverly Barn Road, US 27 from Berry Road to US 192, where a traffic shift remains in place for several months on the US 192 eastbound entrance ramp, SR 540 east of State Farm entrance, SR 37 from Cozart Road to Bethlehem Road, and SR 17 at Palm Street in Frostproof. With several overlaps on the docket, here's a list of nighttime construction that is expected to cause delays this week. US 27 from Silvercrest Drive to Bates Road in Haines City, where motorists should expect southbound lane closures. Interstate 4 eastbound exit ramp at County Line Road and South Frontage Road. US 98 from CR 548 to Winter Lake Road. US 98 at Farm Road, and Cumbie Road at North Crystal Lake Drive. For additions to this list of detours and delays, be sure to check out the Polk TPO Facebook and Twitter accounts on a regular basis, and don't be afraid to share pictures or thoughts on construction you see going on around our county. Next time, I'll be back with some big news on the new polktpo.com and information on an upcoming Advisor Network community forum in February. With updates and information on the Planning That Moves Polk, I'm RJ Walters.
To keep current with programs and progress in the county, visit us online at polk-county.net or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We encourage you to join us at the next scheduled board meeting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, January 21st. Thank you for watching this edition of Dateline Polk.